You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
Yeah, I keep me put in my pocket. It don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Call out here for a bill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life. So I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up, what up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. And hey, 420 crew is in the house. The real crew in the fantasy football world, the 420 crew. Hell yeah. Shout out to our man Stranger and the Houday Nation. What up? Emil in the house. What up, what up? Who's Port Blazer Foo over there? Who's Port Blazer Foo over there? Shout out. Thanks for joining in on Twitch. And what was that? What is that? I can't see. Can't see which emoji that is. And Crispy. What up, Crispy? Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to figure out what emoji is that. I cannot see it. But let's smoke it up, guys. We got some fantasy football news to talk about for sure. For sure. Let us know what you're smoking. Let me know what you're smoking. Port Blazer Food said, puff, puff, pass. Let's go.
Got perfect time. About to start a little puff, puff give in this motherfucker. I'm about to show y'all who the real Puff Daddy is.
Let's get it. What did I just open up here? Lemon pastries. Very tasty. 25.8% THC. And oh yeah, look, check it out. Cleaned out the rig. Let's go. And we're hitting some dabs this morning. Yabba dabba doo. Let's go. I'm gonna pull up the fantasy news just so it's I know I'm forgetting something right off the bat. Okay, so the Patriots game is going to be pretty important this week. So he said Jacoby Brissett will start the preseason finale and that all four quarterbacks are going to play. Didn't give a timeline on how long they're going to be playing, but I think this is Jacoby Brissett's job to lose initially. And we've seen what happened, with a guy like Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Yeah, where he comes in hot and heavy year one, but then look at that, just fizzles out year two, just not ready at all. Caught a lot of people by surprise. I think they don't want the same thing to happen with Drake May, especially when they paid a third-round draft pick, for him. It's going to be better if they have him for the whole 5 years than if they let him fizzle out after like 1 or 2 years like they did with Mac Jones. That was a waste of a first-round draft pick for sure. Breakfast bowl time. Hella jelly. Let's go. Dang it. Pisses me off that a lot of times I'm on Instagram, but for some reason, streaming on Instagram, but for some odd reason, fucking it shuts it down. I don't know why. Crispy said Richardson is ass. I mean, if there's one thing that me and Crispy have been telling you guys since he was drafted is Richardson is a bust. He's a bust. He's a bum.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
I only put so much weight into preseason, especially when you're bad. But if he came out there and he looked good, he was like 6 for 8, 80 yards. Doesn't even matter if he has a touchdown or not. But just like the efficiency, if the efficiency was there, probably wouldn't be talking shit, But the efficiency, it really wasn't there. He overthrew a lot of wide open passes. I know Michael Pittman had to be pissed, because I know there was one wide open pass they just threw like way over his head. And then we know Jordan Battle loves him because Jordan Battle got a pick 6 off of his ass. And man, I'm super excited for Jordan Battle. But yeah, Richardson, I've been trying to tell you. Crispy said, back it up twice. Oh man. Yeah, Richardson. He's not going to be that guy, man. He really isn't. He's not going to be that guy. All right. Let's smoke some more weed. Let's see. What other news do we got? Okay, so some news from the Bucks camp saying that Otten is, obviously.
Well, obviously,
That he's the locked and loaded tight end one, of course. And they said that they're going to use a lot less multi-tight end sets over there. So, that's something. And, hey, maybe our boy Bandy can let us know about that. Any other tight ends for the Bucks? Was there anybody thinking that anybody was going to be hyped behind Otten? But yeah, to where they literally need to say we're running less multi-tight end sets and that Otten's going to be the guy. I didn't even think that there was anybody else who could potentially be the guy at tight end over there for the Bucks. JPZ, what up, bro? Said happy Friday, football fam, and of course to the go. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. So you let us know, Ben. Do you heard anything else? But I didn't even think that would be that was going to be a thing. Ooh, look at this. Chiefs out here making moves, trying to make sure they get their extensions in and their center. They said they're close to finalizing an extension with him that will make him the highest paid center in the league. Let's go. Let's keep Patrick Mahomes protected. Uh-oh. I didn't even know that Derwin James got hurt, but Jim Harbaugh said there's no update on Derwin James or Joey Bosa, but he expects them both to play in week 1 based on what he's told. Jim Harbaugh is really good at coach speak, I'll tell you. He's very, very good. Him, Sean McVay, Mike McDaniels, they may be the best in the league. Their coach talk is impeccable. And I'll tell you, I didn't get a video because it was literally only 4 seconds. But Mike McDaniels, they asked him about Tyreek Hill. And they were like, hey, can you give us some insight on Tyreek Hill's hand, thumb injury, whatever. They literally said it like that, on his hand, his thumb injury, whatever's wrong with him. And he was like, you know what? I'm the best at thumb war, and Tyreek lost. So don't play Mike McDaniels in a game of thumb war. He might break your thumb off like he did to Tyreek. Okay. Kiva said, they like him, but no. Okay. Yeah, see, it's people trying to make headlines out of random things that were never really going to happen anyways. But Otten's the guy. Come on. And Emil said Joey Bosa stays hurt. Always hurt. I told you guys, I've been telling you guys, Joey Bosa is a bum.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
I even said, for the people who were drafted in best ball, I wouldn't even draft him in round 30. No point to. I wouldn't even draft him with my last pick in round 30 because he's going to get hurt. He always does. And I think he's just one of those guys, he's been a diva since way before he got into the NFL. He was a diva at Ohio State. He was a diva when he said, I'm holding out on the Chargers. And then he keeps saying the holdout on the Chargers. Chargers have only paid him good money, since he came into the league, but he's never wanted to play for the Chargers. Never, not once. And so I don't know why the Chargers even fucking extended him, man. They're stupid. One of the worst draft picks that ever could have got. And it was with a number 3 overall pick too. It was not a low pick. It was a very high pick. And yeah, he's been an issue for the Chargers ever since. I'm surprised they still deal with that bullshit. Probably because they see Nick Bosa over there and man, if only Joey could get his shit together like Nick. GMs everywhere looking at rugby players for running back. We'll see. Don't we only have the one rugby player in right now? I don't even think he really did that good. I mean, Steele's not the rugby player. Steele's not the rugby player. That's the player everybody's all over his nuts right now. Because, yeah, I feel like he's going to be better than Clyde. Clyde sucks. He's a bum.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
Oh, man, this is funny. The 49ers re-signed Logan Thomas to a 1-year deal. They got rid of him, and then they waived Taylor Hawkins. Whoever the fuck that is. Taylor Hawkins. They waived Taylor Hawkins, and they re-signed Logan Wilson. I meant Logan Wilson. Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas. All right. What else? What else? Most of the starters, Geno Smith included, will play on Saturday. Okay. There we go. There we go. That's the game that we are doing for the squares. So that's good. We're going to get some starters out there, make it even more fun to watch. Hold on 1 second, guys. But who else? Who are you talking about, Crispy? Like, who's the other? What are the other rugby players that you're talking about? I mean, outside of, we all know the one on what's it called, on the Chiefs. I can't even think of his name. He's got the hyphenated last name. He's all tatted up like crazy. Jerry B, what up, bro? Smoking it up, talking some trash about Joey Bosa. They said him and Derwin James should be good for week 1, but I've never liked Joey Bosa. He's a bum. Get him out of LA.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
All right. A couple people messaged me and they're like, man, you really meant to spend $69 on De'Ami Brown?
69 dudes.
And I said, yeah. I mean, Fab resets in 2 weeks. So, this was a guy, if you were going to go like all in, potentially on a guy, it's really like the two guys, Zacchaeus and De'Ami Brown, because one of those guys is going to turn into something, And this is the kind of, this is the kind of player that you want to actually spend all your offseason budget on. Someone who might come into a starting role. It's kind of like out of nowhere, All right. Christian said, I can't agree with that. Clyde helped me beat you in League 5, which I did win the championship. That doesn't matter. Just because your running back sucked over there and you had to start Clyde doesn't mean he's good. It means your running backs were bad. And somehow you got lucky and won a championship. I mean, there's a championship that I won where my quarterback sucked, but somehow won. Gardner Minshew. That's good. Will said, man, in the draft I just did, I got sniped on every tight end available. I just kept putting it off. Guys started drafting backup tight ends. I got Hawk, and that's it. Should I nab Taysom? Meh. I mean, Hawkinson's probably not playing week 1, so you're gonna have to grab someone. But like, why? What's the deal with the tight ends in that league? Is it tight end premium? Are people just excited to start multiple tight ends? Is it a dynasty? They said the rest are out there. The typical bums, Conklin, Chig. And Ortiz family said, you don't like rolling doobies? Well, I think that there's a time and place for every type of smoking apparatus. And I like hitting out of the bongs, just more than anything. Let me hit that bong. And so, especially with me, like I'm the type of guy, I really don't like putting out joints and like hitting them later and shit like that. I don't like treating them like a now and later. I just like smoking the whole thing and then we'll smoke another one when it's time to smoke another one, you know. So yeah, that would just be it. If I would just go through way more weed if I was just smoking joints and nothing else. If there's a couple people here, you know, or something like that, I wasn't just smoking to myself, you know. But even if it's two people, you know, even if there's two people who are just here, man, a bong's fine. I don't need joints for everything unless I'm moving around. But look, I mean, shit, I've got, where is this? I won this recently. Look at this. 800 king size cones. I got cones for days, bro. I got cones for days. There's just a time and place where they're going to be used. And mostly when I'm walking around. Yeah. Because I'm smoking a bong anywhere I can. Like when I went to LA and I wasn't like smoking indoors, I was smoking joints, you know. Going and smoking in the smoking section of these hotels. Dude, get Kate Otten literally just talking about how the Bucks, I don't know who that was, the OC or something, but how they're going to start running less multi-set tight ends because they want to feature Kate Otten even more. So, yeah, get him, bro. So, no idea. The guy just started drafting backups in like round 10. It's probably to troll you. Just got to trade off for a 12-team PPR Cooper Kupp for my Lamar Jackson. Also have Goff. Single QB or super flex. Throw it in. Cotton fan, Theo Johnson. Could all give you the same production, right? Ryan Otten. Yeah, for sure. I mean, once you get past the top couple tight ends, like they all get 2 to 4 catches a game, and they're all between like 15 and 35 yards. And if you get a touchdown, even with 25, 35 yards, you could still be a top tight end on the week, top 10 tight end on the week, potentially. Single QB. I'd probably do that. I mean, Kupp's going to be way more valued in a single QB, and you already got Jared Goff. But, I mean, Lamar Jackson is your better of the two, more than likely. So I'd try to get him to throw in something else. But yeah, I'm moving him, man. Like this is why you drafted 2 quarterbacks. So you could potentially move one. That's what it comes down to. So you could potentially move one. Oh, Crispy going to Crispy Crunchy Chicken. But you know what, Crispy? I actually went. When did we go? Whenever I had to shut the show down early because Regal had a doctor's appointment, there's a Crispy Crunchy Chicken right over there. And we hit it up. Dude, more trades. A lot of draft pick trades. Man, Crispy with the Crispy Crunchy Chicken. It's making me hungry, man. Those wedges, man. I love those wedges. That's the thing that's cool about Crispy Crunchy Chicken. If you guys haven't tried it, I don't know where it is outside of California and parts of Las Vegas, but it's yeah, you got to try it. Some of the best fried chicken around. Hey, Jay said just signed up, ready for the $33 IDP leagues. I'm going to invite some. Hopefully we can fill it up. We'll fill it up. We need some more people to join the Superflex IDP redraft. It's only a $33 buy-in. Let me throw the link in the chat. Not going to be drafting for a week or so. But we need more. Come on. Somebody come join Jay. We got 2 people in the league right now. But I wanted to get at least one cheaper Superflex IDP league just because I know there's people who want to play in one and don't want to spend $50 to $100, to try. So let's help fill this up, guys. I appreciate you. because we're trying to get more people into IDP. And I know Jay's already played in IDP, but I'm just saying, let's try to get some newbies into this IDP league. It's only going to make it fun for the people who aren't newbies. And then it's also going to make it a good experience getting some newbies into the IDP scene, because we got to keep getting more people in the IDP leagues, man. That's what it's all about. Let's build it. We're going to make it the norm. Might take 5-10 years, but we're going to make it the norm. I mean, we're close to Superflex being the norm. And I'd say for Dynasty League, Superflex is the norm, because you already got to be a little bit more of a degenerate to want to play in Dynasty than than just your regular keeper leagues or your normal redraft leagues. But yeah, I could say that for all the people that I've met this off season, and they were picking and choosing between the 3 styles of leagues that I host: single QB, Superflex offense only, Superflex IDP, Superflex offense only. That's the one that people are addicted to. And I think we've started drafting in 44 Superflex offense only redrafts, the $30 one. Well, I mean, some of them are 55, but the $30 and $55 ones. 55. Yeah, I'm trying to get my head wrapped around how we're going to be doing a lot of the content this season, because a lot of stuff's changing. I mean, it's going to be me solo. Like, the last 2 years we had a co-host, but they're doing their own thing now, and I'm glad, because the things that I want to do, it's not stopping, and things that I've wanted to do but haven't, those things are going to come into play as well. And we're going to be bringing back a lot of things like the starts and sits at every position. I mean, that's something that I was doing for the longest time, and because I was doing so many other live streams with so many other people, it kind of took away from doing things like that. So yeah, just get ready. A lot of cool things in the works. And I'm still always going and checking out their stuff randomly, because even though when they were on this show and this network, they'd never share the show, never. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants to share the show, and they'll share them in the leagues and all that. And it's funny how even their show today, it's join the crew, and they've never said that before. But they want to still make it seem like they're associated, with me. And Peacock, I mean, he's the coolest one out of all of them. I mean, Kid is cool, but then these other guys, they're just super distant and trying to copy shit that I'm doing, try to go at the same time frame and all that. It's hilarious. So just know you guys are here with the real crew, and we're gonna be doing this every day, multiple times a day. And it's not just to sit and talk with my friends as an outlet for life. This is actually a business, and you guys, the audience, are the outlet for my talking to. So yeah, there we go. So that being said, you can do it. To them,
just remember, go big or go home.
Let me hit that ball. I knew he was gonna do a dab with me.
That bong, 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 bong. I like the hot box material.
And Emil said, I watched the interview you and Coach C did. You're a very well-spoken dude. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I've got a lot of communications experience. I know when I get high, I may throw in a couple uhs and ums, in there. But every job that I've worked since 2010, has all been revolving communications or sales, something like that. Like, man, 2010, I was cold calling real estate agents, cold calling dumbass real estate agents, and trying to convince them that they needed to use our website. And man, it was crazy. That shit was so hard. That shit was so hard. Well, I'm talking about the hardest thing that you will ever do in your life, calling complete strangers and getting them to give you a credit card after an hour of talking to you. And yeah, I mean, there were some days that were really good and I hit the right people. And then there were some days that, man, you're just making like 200 calls getting hung up on all the time. It's fucking crazy. And Ghost Monkey, what up, bro? All right, after this bowl, we're dabbing it up. Let's go. I cleaned the rig this morning. We're looking pretty. Noble Creations, what up? Been a long time in the making. Oh yeah. This year is going to be the biggest year ever. Year 5. They said, Jesus Christ, that backup beeper is loud. So I actually look outside every time I hear it if there's a truck backing up into my house. And so if you guys want to see the interview that I did with Coach C's been following the show since 2020 and since COVID. And so he's been around forever. And now he's doing his own podcast. He's doing interviews. He interviews a lot of independent wrestlers, a lot of those indie wrestlers. So go check it out. I think it's like an hour, like 45 minutes or so. But it's good insight. If you ever want a little bit more insight into myself, definitely get some good insight into everything going on. And Coach C's fun. I figured that I wouldn't smoke during this show, like while we're actually recording, and but I don't want to like break the I don't want to like break anything, like, as far as like time wise or whatever flow that he's got going, like to just smoke. So we were on Zoom before we started, and I was like, hey, it's cool if I smoke a couple bowls before we start. I smoked like 10 bowls, just ripping them. And yeah, it was a fun interview. It was a fun interview, man. Super fun. You're in 60 leagues. Don't you ever get stressed and get anxiety? Sometimes, but I don't, man, like the stress of different things in life that I've gone through, like to get to here, like, man, I'm just saying, like I've dealt with a lot of stressful shit, like in my life. Fantasy football, like that's my outlet to get rid of stress, like, I mean, everything now, and I didn't just get 60 leagues, either. Like this was like, I started playing in 2006, like 2008, I'm probably in like 2 leagues, 2010, I think I'm in 3, 2012, I think I'm in 4. No, actually it probably wasn't until 2014 where I got in 4. And that was because I started another job and I created a work league for everybody to get into. And then it was like, I know in 2019, I was barely at 8 leagues in 2019. And I won 2 big ones that year. Ooh, that one was nice. I remember 2018 and 19. Those were good years for fantasy football. And then 2020, like, fuck. And actually, yeah, 2020, that's when everything took off because, I think the other day I said that 2019, I started my first dynasty. Nah, man, it was COVID that made me get into dynasty. And I started 2 leagues that year. And, those leagues were kind of like my experimental, like, leagues. When I created the first one, 10-man league, I honestly didn't even think I could get 12 people in. I was like, man, how many people were even playing Dynasty? Because like all these people, like the Facebook group isn't as big as what it is now. There's like maybe 5,000 people in there or something like that. And like a couple people hit me up. Like if you guys see Da Vinci, like around here, he was one of those motherfuckers that was in the group and was like, hell yeah, man, I've always wanted to do a Dynasty. I don't know if he was doing one then or not, but yeah. So, and then it was like gradually from there, like 2020, that's when 8 leagues changed to like, I had 2 dynasties at that point. And then I know I lost a couple of the leagues, the redraft leagues I was playing in. I kicked those to the curb. But man, I think I started like 20 redrafts or something that year. So it went from like 8 in 2019 to like 20 or 20 something in 2020. And then it's kind of just been gradually going up. But let's not forget, I haven't had a traditional job either. I got screwed over in 2020 by the job that I was working and got shit canned because they got fucked up because of COVID. And these assholes, they owed me like so much money. I think they owed me like shit, I don't even know. It was 3 months of work that I hadn't gotten paid for. It was like 10, 12 G's, like something like that. And luckily I ended up getting it all back plus more with the unemployment that happened. But man, that was want to talk about stress. That was the most stress that I've been, calling the fucking unemployment department fucking every day and being on hold for hours and hours and hours at a time. And then at the end, like I swear to God, one time I was on the phone with them for 3 hours and on hold, just waiting to talk to someone. And then I got a message and it says, sorry, no one can complete your request at this time. Goodbye. Like, that's stress. Like, that's fucking stress. That like, man, just thinking about that, like, makes my body like tense up. That was like, and luckily that's when everything started with this. That's when everything started with this, when all that was going on. And I wasn't really making like any kind of money, at that time. I think the first month that I did Patreon, I made like $90 or something, but I was so stoked. I was like, no way. I was like $90, like in just the very first month, when I didn't think anybody would pay me for any of this kind of shit. And it just kept growing. It kept growing from there. Now here we are starting season number 5 on this journey. And trying to get money from the government, definitely stressful when it's your money, dude. Fucking A, man. Fucking A. And I've never collected unemployment ever before this. I either had a job, and there was only little spurts of my life that before 2020 and COVID hit, there's only little spurts of my life where I did not have a job. It was always some kind of regular job. And I never collected unemployment until fucking 2020. And man, it was so crazy because like I wasn't paying rent or anything at that time. They couldn't kick you out because of COVID. And like every single like month I'd be like, look, I'm still waiting for this check. This is how much they said I'm getting. They said I'm getting $20,000. And then it was like, but months and months and months kept going. I think when I finally got it, it was like a check for like $28,000. And like half of it was gone like right away, like towards rent. Not half, but seemed like half. That was bullshit. Hey, Coach C, we were just talking about you. I just shared the link to the interview that I did on your channel a few minutes ago. Who was it? Was it Emil? Was it Emil who said he watched it and he said that I'm very well spoken? And I think it was a good format also. Coach C put together a good format for the way this all worked out. It was really good. It was really good. And he said, other than weed, what makes you stand out from other content creators? Being the most interactive, like around. I mean, there's a bunch of podcasts out there where it's like 3, 4, 5 guys on a panel. They just talk to each other. People are leaving comments and then they like don't interact, with anybody. I answer more questions, 100% guaranteed. This is no cap. I answer more questions for the fantasy football community than any fantasy football content creator out there. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of questions like per week, thousands and thousands of questions per week. So that's, I mean, if I'm just going to say like one thing, that's the one thing. I'm interacting with people and I'm answering more questions than anybody out there. Like, I'm doing this as a business. And like, you guys are like the main part that fuels this business. Like if you guys aren't here answering questions, I mean, shit, I wouldn't even be able to keep the show going, so long. I mean, I could smoke like for, a whole bunch. I could smoke a bunch and all that kind of stuff, but, and sometimes it gets stressful when there's so many questions. And Coach C said, appreciate that. We got to figure out something, make it more often, either yearly before the season, mid or after. I'm telling you, man, just get me on for something wrestling. Because, we can always mix in some fantasy talk. But I I can hold my own when it comes to the wrestling talk. Emil says Smitty doesn't answer questions unless it's super chat. And Smitty's so big that, you know, it's tough. When there's, I mean, I'm not making any excuse for him, you know, because he's a little bit too pushy with asking for super chats. I'm always going to tell people to leave those super chats if you want to cut the line, but I'm here still answering questions like either way. But yeah, Schmitty, he's funny. I'm sure every time he goes live, he has a couple hundred people like watching his live streams. It's almost impossible to answer everybody's questions at that point. I mean, shit, last year I couldn't even answer everybody's questions because there were like so many that were coming in, and then it got to the point where I'm like, man, I'm like 40 minutes behind, you know, on these questions. Are these fools even still here? You know? So there would just be times I'm like, hey, I know we got a line of questions, but it's been so long. Re-put your questions in, and whoever re-put your question in quick, I'm just going to go off of that. And I know it rubs some people the wrong way, but it's really just to encourage people like staying on, being on the show, all that kind of stuff. And like, even with like the super chats and stuff that we do, usually those go to like some kind of raffle that we're doing. I don't know if Schmitty ever like gives anything away, but I know that's something that a lot of people don't do, is any kind of like raffles or anything for the community. And yeah, that's something that we're always doing. We'll say you could just hammer his chat with an unpopular view and he'll send you for a lap or acknowledge your existence. Yeah. Yeah. Schmitty's goofy. He's funny though. He's funny. But that's most people that are in this space are kind of funny to me. It's almost like they don't. It's like, I don't know. Because I really don't, like, I know why I'm here. I'm here because I love it, and I turn this into a business. You know, there's a lot of people who, like, I don't know, maybe they just like hearing themselves talk. I know for a lot of people it's like an outlet because, like, you don't have any friends. Like, you know, you just stay at home, you got no friends, and that's like the outlet for like hanging out with your friends and stuff. But like, yeah, like there's a lot of people doing this. I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing it? Because they're not particularly good at it. So if you want to know how to get Schmitty's attention, type in all caps. Says some dude did that the other night. It was called out by him. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, when anybody types in all caps, I just make a joke out of it. Oh, is this you screaming at me? You screaming at me now? I think I totally packed another bolt instead of doing a dab. So we're going to do a dab here. We're going to do a dab here in a second. Don't forget, we got no best ball draft tonight, but we do got one tomorrow. And tomorrow is the 125th division. It's going to be a pretty iconic division to be a part of, because this was like the first benchmark of what we were really trying to hit. And it's kind of like the last the first benchmark was really like we're trying to tie what we did last year, but then it was like after we got to 74, it's like, shit, can we get to 125? Can we get to 150? And we're about to hit 150. Let's go. 125. Let's go. Crispy said, I've got new friends in the 32. What happened? Let me go check. And it's anything new? Anything new that's happened? Let's see. Crispy's putting fucking Dirty Harry. Putting Dirty Harry gifts in there. You got to shoot them all down, huh? Plus, I have zero problem with Smitty in his takes, but I laugh at some of his crazy takes. He's got his whole following, taking a whole band of certain players to the Moon Man, the Saturn Man. He said it's cool, though. Yeah, and seeing as long as we know, like, what he's on, you know, like, then we could kind of avoid it, you know? You're the man, Jay. Said he really does interact and help me. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah. Ghost Monkey said the 32 league is wild this year. Bro, I'm saying, man. This is, what, the third year in existence? And, yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Because we got a big different crop of people like in there as well. There's a lot of people who didn't return from last year. A lot of people who didn't return from last year. So it's there's a whole different vibe to the league this year. And Crispy said they're a little sensitive. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, everybody's a little sensitive, you know. Especially when people don't know each other. That's when people are way more sensitive, you know, because you could hear the shit that one of their friends might say to them, and it's like way more derogatory or like whatever. But you know, when you don't know the person, it just hits a little harder for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it hits a little harder. I'm glad I've finally gotten over that. It took a couple years to get over that. I've finally gotten over it. Like, it's so funny because like even like just all the comments and shit on all these different shorts and stuff that I'm posting, like people talk mad shit about people for no reason. And like just because it's a comment that's on something that I'm doing, like in the past I would have almost taken it personally. But not anymore. I've finally gotten over that. It's taken years to be able to get over that also, because it's not hard. It's not easy to get like to be shit talked to and like just like act like it like nothing was even said. But I've come to realize how stupid people are for one, how sensitive people are for two, and really how people like we've gotten to this place where like you don't get punched in the face for saying stupid shit anymore, you know? Like that's all kind of just like gone and went. But like when you had the threat of being punched in the face by saying something stupid, you kind of thought an extra second about what you're going to say. Like, I'm not saying you wouldn't have the balls to say what you're going to say, but like when that's an actual consequence, a physical punch to the face, you might not flap your gums like as much. Like, right, Crispy? That's what you mean by sensitive, right? There's people out just talking mad shit, no consequence of getting punched in the face. Jamie, what up, bro? Doing a dab. Here we go.
You got perfect timing. About to start a little puff giving this motherfucker.
Nobody got punched, Jamie, but what I was saying is that people get a little bit too, I mean, sensitive for one, but like also just like talking mad shit. Just talking mad shit. And I said that if there was a threat of getting punched in the face, you know, which like just in life, there's not too many times a lot of people are even in positions where they could potentially be punched in the face, you know? And I think we've gotten far from that, where people just, they say whatever the fuck comes in their mind. They talk whatever shit, you know, is like the first thought that's in their head and all that. And yeah, it's stupid, man. It's stupid. Too many manginas in the world. That's for sure. That's for sure. What is this? West Cacao. What up? If that's not how I say it, tell me how to say it. What up on Twitch? Yeah. Shout out to the peeps on Rumble. Leave some comments so we know you're not, so we know you're a real person.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me, ain't you? Take advantage, man.
Fuck. Woo. Whoa. It's a dab. It's a 710 dab. Yeah. At that one bitch that threatened my life. Twice know exactly where I'm at. Who was it? Who threatened your life? Why did I miss that? He really threatened your life? I thought you were joking around about that. What's the username? There's people talk mad shit to me all the time in my league, but I'm like you, no butt hurting, bro. So just get over it already. Yeah. Once you have to, but that's like the first rule of what I think of most people. People are just stupid, you know. Not you guys. You guys are cool, but you know what I mean. That's like the first thing that we got to remember about just these random internet people. Like, number one, they're stupid. And, you know, it's different if it's a home league. Like, there's just always more shit talking in home leagues. Like, always, because you've known each other, like, sometimes for your entire lives. Sometimes for your entire lives. It's an electronic dab rig. This is a big battery, is what it is. Oh yeah, shout out to Bees for my dabbing out sticker that he got me from Champs a couple years ago. Oh yeah, whoo! So Crispy, tell me. I mean, you don't got to put it in the chat, but yeah, tell me, who the fuck was it? I thought you were joking about that. I really did. Let's see. Do I have any videos that I haven't shared with you guys that I found? Oh, yeah, this one. Patrick Mahomes in 6. Drafts this week, all of next week. Getting pumped for my favorite part of the season, writing questions and going to your chat. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. Any other ones? Yeah, this one was funny. Tino shared this one with me on TikTok. All right, that's 2 videos. I was a bingo caller for a few years and I had death threats to my face for not calling their numbers. So I learned to let that shit fly right by me. Man, that shit's funny. Being a bingo caller is what made you develop some extra thick skin. And I could just imagine, because like there's people who take bingo. I mean, there's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of money on the line with bingo. So I know they take it. Some people take it hella seriously. Hella seriously. And that's funny. You didn't pick my fucking ball. Jesus. Yeah, that shit's crazy. In the beginning, I had some people who were like, you fucking told me the wrong person to pick. And like in the DMs too. Not here on the live streams, but man, yeah, certain people, because they would just everything, you know, would like, I had to start specifying with people, like, I'm telling you what I think, I'm doing this process, especially with new people. So I was like, at the end of the day, this is your decision. I'm just telling you who I would start if it was me, and my records speak for itself. But it's not 100%. Nothing is 100% in this fantasy football world. All right, I found this clip with Stephen A. and Tom Brady. This was also from that Fanatics Fest. Will said, you'll see professional poker players getting pissed at the dealer when they turn the river and don't go their way. Professional dealers won't cheat, right?
Mahomes in 6 years. 6 AFC championship games.
What?
4 Super Bowl appearances.
What?
3 Super Bowl titles.
What?
3 Super Bowl MVPs.
What?
We look at him.
What up, Johnny?
We say he's great. I don't know if I've heard anyone ask this question of a quarterback. A lot of times when we look at greatness today, we compare them to generations. What would they have been if they had played in a different generation?
I think he would be better. And I'm
What's
saying
up,
he's
Tim?
already
One
great.
sec.
He's already
I
great.
mean, believe me, he's, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the NFL. And why?
Of course.
I could talk about his physicals because you know why? When I look at him and I see why he's great, I see the way that he's endeared himself to his teammates. I see the joy they have when they're out there playing together. So I love when I see his rapport with his teammates, with his coaches, how he communicates after the game. I'm listening to the press conferences as much as I'm watching him throw a tight spiral, because that's ultimately what that position is about. Yeah, it's about your ability to be physically gifted and run and throw on the move and drop his arm angle and read coverages and throw the ball deep. It's also about how the message you're creating every day to your fans, to your teammates, to your coaches, how you present yourself on the field, off the field, how you handle wins and losses. That to me is just as important in the development of a player. And I think the challenge that I see with him as he gets older, he's not as young as he was, and can he relate to the young players? I believe he will. He's now had a degree of success. Does that continue to motivate him? That's going to be up to him. There's going to be a lot of things that now happen in his life with his children, and as he grows that are probably external from football. How does he deal with those? I believe he's got a good foundation to deal with those.
I would never ask you this question as a player, but damn it, you're an analyst now, so I can ask this question. Top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League right now, according to Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes being number 1. Give me 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, so I think consistently, the guys that I see Josh Allen as someone who's always impresses me as a player. I see Lamar Jackson, who always impresses me as a player. Yeah, I think that some different guys probably have different moments.
Right.
Joe Burrow is very impressive the way he throws the ball and leads the team. Again, another guy who's got a great connection with his teammates.
Right.
He'll never say Aaron Rodgers. Never say Aaron Rodgers. And Tim said, do you mess with college football at all? So I've been playing the video game, and that's got me into college football a little bit more. But I'm probably not going to be watching too many games or, doing stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'll be following it like here and there, but nah, for me, I mean, I'm so ingrained in the NFL that like literally every single day is a different part of the process for us for fantasy football. And it's like, if I start taking on college outside of like playing the video game, like here and there, it's just going to mess with my head, like for the future. Like, I mean, I like seeing the guys like ball out, but it's also, I feel like a lot of people that get these predetermined notions about these college players, I don't like that. Tom Brady's ex-wife was a witch. Yeah, is a witch. Deep occult. Don't believe me. Look it up. We already know. But she's a good witch, though, she says. What up, Bakes? We got a couple. Look, this is perfect for Bakes because this was Pat McAfee. So funny talking about waking and bacon.
Smoke at 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Me too.
Every single Sunday. Okay.
Me too.
I didn't know you
kind of smoke, Pat.
That makes sense.
Different smoke.
We be waking and baking. These
Definitely not what I do. Definitely not what I'm doing.
So funny. So funny. Oh, Bakes, since you came in, bro, is this you? Are you like this kid or are you the exact opposite? Tino sent me this. Had me cracking up. Check this out.
The NFL, you know your Raiders, I can tell right here. How are you feeling with the team this year?
We're not going to the Super Bowl. I already know it.
We got a realistic Raiders fan here. This is odd. This is the first interview I've ever had like this. The Super Bowl chances are not good, but what is it going to take for the Raiders to have a successful season, you think?
Not to get arrested.
Okay, that's definitely an interesting one. I would agree with that. Yeah, getting someone in prison, that's going to hurt the chances.
This kid's wise beyond his years. This kid's wise beyond his years. Let me tell you. Beck said smart kid. Oh, man. So funny. So funny. Oh, and then look at this. I think I have 4 videos, but look at this. Adam Sandler. So funny that you could just randomly catch him in New York hooping.
Good job.
Set picks out there.
Oh.
Out there hooping still. Out there hooping. All right. Dude, that dab got me. Woo! Yabba dabba do. Let's see. What leagues are we trying to fill? We got a $33 Superflex IDP. Jay talked about that. How we're trying to fill that. Said laugh my ass off. He was playing Homer Simpson in a weird trailer. What? We got a Superflex IDP league, $33. We got a Superflex offense only, $55. Superflex offense only, $33. We got a single QB, $33 redraft. Vampire League got 6 spots left. I think 6 spots, maybe one. I think one person might have joined since then, but a handful of spots left in a $55 Vampire League. 55! Handful of spots left in a $33 Vampire League. I created a cheaper option just for people who want to get in. And I think we're like half full in there. It's a 10-teamer. And then in the Debo Snatch a Chain League, we got like 2 spots left, I think, in the Superflex IDP. That one's crazy. Every single week, if you win a game, you get to steal a player from the team you beat. Insane. Got a couple spots left in 2 3 QB leagues. One of them is a 3 QB league with IDP. The other one's a 3 QB league offense only. And I'm probably going to join one of these. We'll see. Could potentially join 2. I do like these ones. These ones are fun. And we got an auction league, $55 auction league. 55! Superflex offense only. Superflex with IDP. The offense only one already filled. Sorry. And then I think that's it. We're still filling the $30 dynasties, the Superflex offense only dynasties as well. So we got a lot of leagues. We got squares for this Saturday. We're doing the Browns and the Seahawks game. That's going to be fun. $6.90 per square. $6.90 per square. So for the Vampire Leagues, is the winner determined just like any other fantasy league? Yep. Because it's obvious the Vampire is going to start out with a huge disadvantage, but could possibly win. Yeah, and I've been hosting these leagues since COVID. And there's been a bunch of vampires that have won. It takes a little luck, it definitely takes a little luck. You got to play the right teams at the right time. Because the one time that I was the vampire, it wasn't fun. I was choosing the wrong quarterback every week, and I played everybody when they did like super well. And yeah, so it wasn't fun for me when I was the vampire. But then I've seen vampires go on a crazy tear where their team's like unbeatable, like in the end. So yeah, the only thing that's different is the draft. So the way that I do it is 10 teams, and the vampire does not draft. The vampire not drafting, that's standard in all these vampire leagues or zombie leagues or, whatever you fucking call it. Everyone has a different name for it. It was because of Matthew Berry back in the day and their podcast. He was talking about the vampire leagues. And so I heard him talk about it. And then I think it took me, I don't think I started it the next year after that. It took COVID, and then I started it. And so this year, what I'm doing, so everybody does not have the same chance to be the vampire. You have to pay $5 extra to get the chance to be in the vampire race. And so pretty much there's only like 3 or 4 people that wanted to pay the extra $5. And it ended up working out better because now, I mean, none of the vampires have been decided yet, but now it's going to be 4 people competing for it who really, really want it, you know, and instead of having a 1 out of 10 chance of being the vampire, now they got a 1 out of 4 chance of being the vampire. So still, you pay the $5 extra for the increased odds is what I figured, you know, would be a good way and a more fair way, you know, to do this. And so, yeah, you got to pay $5 extra to be the vampire. He said, but isn't it putting yourself at a huge disadvantage being the vampire? Well, no, I mean, it's not. I mean, well, it's a yes and no. Here it is. I mean, it's a 10-team league, only 9 teams draft. Okay. So all the players that are getting picked up, they would be getting picked up in the draft, but they would be sporadically picked, you know, amongst the last, like, I don't know, couple rounds or whatever. So the free agents that this vampire is going to get are going to be way better free agents than in any other league that you've seen out there. The vampire gets unlimited moves. Everybody else in the league only gets 1 move, at least in the way that I do it. And the vampire gets first cracks at everybody on the waiver before anybody else gets their choice. So yeah, the vampire's at a huge disadvantage week 1, but it's a single QB league, you know, only 10 teams. So even if people are picking 2 QBs, you know, some people picking 3 QBs, there's still a lot of decent QBs that are like out there. I mean, tight end, you're playing the tight end streaming game until you steal one. And then there's always going to be huge, like last year, Puka. I don't think anybody drafted Puka in any of these vampire leagues. Every vampire got Puka week 1 last year, you know? So that's what it comes down to, is like the vampire gets to live off the waiver wire, you know, as well. So you're going to come up with some huge players along the way. And then if the vampire wins, then they get to steal a player from the other team. So that's the other big advantage as well. Any game that the vampire wins, if the vampire gets on a roll, their team can get really good really fast. So no, it's not a donation. It's the one where you actually have this crazy challenge is what it is, of like trying to turn this team that's a bunch of you know, the C- players in a 10-team draft into a team that makes the playoffs and contends for a championship. And I've seen it done. I've seen some vampires get on a roll quick, and sometimes someone getting hurt in week 1 and the vampire just playing that team that had 1 player get hurt. Sometimes that could be the difference between winning and losing in 1 week for the vampire. And if it happens early, then they get to jack the best player off of that team, whoever it is. So it's a fun challenge. I know that. It's a fun challenge. So I guess you're going to be living off the waiver wire and getting all them gems. Yeah, I mean, the ones that pop up. And trust me, every vampire is every person who's a vampire. They're scouring the waivers on Monday and Tuesday before anyone gets a chance on Wednesday. But yeah, really fun. Really fun. Very interesting to watch. Fun to see when the vampire wins and the type of trades that come in, because pretty much a 1-for-1 trade when the vampire wins. I mean, that's the easy way to do it. And then the person just, you know, they must accept. One rule that I put in for the Debo League, and I'm going to put in for the Vampire League as well, you can't steal a person when they're on bye, because you can steal anybody on the team now in both of those style of leagues, but you can't steal a player when they're on bye. I just feel like that's like, it's unfair to the person who couldn't even put their, you know, one of their top players in there to go to war. Said, well, you know, I know league is not won during the draft. It's won on the waiver wire for sure. For sure. He said being the vampire would be hella fun. Yeah, see, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you do start off with a big disadvantage week 1, but every single week, it's like, you know, you get a little bit better. You get a little bit better. Then if you start winning, because, yeah, like, I don't think any vampire expects to, like, maybe win week 1 or week 2. You know, the team, it's going to look like real shitty in like projections, you know, because these other teams, they only drafted with 9 teams. Everybody's team is stacked. When you're not the vampire, everybody's team is stacked. But you can only pick up 1 player per week, and it's after the vampire already scoured the waivers. And if you catch any injuries, you know, then you just got to start going in your bench and all that stuff. And Jay, no, that one is not a vampire. That one's just a traditional it's a traditional style of league, but it's super flex with IDP. How many rounds? Good question. Let me go see, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Uh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait. Fuck, I never changed this. Hold on. Yeah, so let's see. It's 8 offensive players, and then I think 7 bench. So 15 rounds, I'm pretty sure. Dang, I never changed this shit in the in this league. Let's go double check. Wait, let me see. 5. No, we made it 9. 9 with 8 bench. Huh. That's what it is. 9 with 8 bench. So 17 rounds. 17 rounds. 4 flexes. And I think it's because the vampire, I think there was 2 vampires that won out of the 4 leagues last year. It seemed like it was too easy for the vampires to win. So that's why I adjusted it, and I bumped up the amount of positions, because the vampire is still going to kill on the waiver wire, you know. And it's still only 9 teams drafting those amount of rounds. And you can't sit your whole team because you're just gonna lose, and you don't want to get your chain jack motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm gonna remind everybody about that. Yeah, anybody is up for grabs except for a player on bye. That's the only rule that you can't snatch. So now there's 0 point to sit your players. 0 point to sit your players. I wish I would have done that last year, because I was someone who got screwed because of everyone sitting their players. What up, Brandon? It's a 10-man league. I got the 4th pick. Where do I go? Assuming CMC, CD, Hill are gone. Brees, Bijan, those would be my 1 and 2. I'm going with either one of those guys. And then who would be number 3? Amon-Ra. I want one of those running backs. I want one of those top 3 running backs if I could get them. I'm trying to leave the first round with one of those guys, and then I'll get a wide receiver in the second round, sometimes a back-to-back wide receiver in the second and the third round, and then, you know, start filling in spots after that. But that's where I'm trying to go. Because more often than not, I mean, unless I can get Derrick Henry in the 3rd round. I love getting Derrick Henry in the 3rd round. It feels so good. It feels so good. But, yeah, that's where I'm going. And especially if you got the 4th pick, I mean, you're almost guaranteed to be able to get Brees or Bijan. I mean, not almost guaranteed, knock on wood, because they could go with the first 3 picks, you know. Now it suck, because then you don't get any one of them. But if you can get one of those 3, that's where I'm going for sure. One of those 3. All right. We've been rocking for like an hour. Let's see. Gotta go see if there's any trades or anything that I may have missed out on. Nobody, doesn't look like anybody tagged me. Who saw me snatch up De'Ami Brown for $69 in all those dynasties?
69 dudes.
It's funny, the ones where I guess I thought I put in a waiver claim but didn't. People got them for like $5. And it said in 3 of the leagues, Bijan has went first overall. Yes, that's crazy. I mean, that's what I mean. If I could get one of the three, I'm getting them. Okay, that's what I mean. One of those 3 running backs. But yeah, I mean, it's not a super hot take to take Bijan number 1. But it's any of those guys, and it's since CMC got hurt. I've been considering trading my 4th draft spot for the 7th, all the picks. Is that crazy? Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. 7th isn't better than 4th. You just have to hit on your pick because no matter what, you get the better pick in the 1st, you get the better pick in the 3rd, you get the better pick in the 5th, you get the better pick in the 7th. You know, so it's like no matter what you're getting, it's one pick you have a better pick in the round, and then the next pick your pick's a little bit later. You know, but no matter what, everybody always asks, "What's the best spot to pick out of?" Number 1, but you can't miss. Number 1 is the best spot. More championships come out of the number 1 spot than any other spot. And I'm not saying you can't win drafting out of any spot. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more overall championships come from the 1 spot because you got the 1 and then you got the 25. And hopefully someone drops to you at the 24 that shouldn't drop to you. Because that's like really how it goes. And like no matter what, like the 1 and the 25, like you're the only team that has 2 picks inside the top 25. When you're the 4th pick, I mean, what is that? 25, 26, 27, 28. When you're the 4th pick, there's 4 teams that have picks inside that have 3 picks inside the top 28. Okay. And you're one of them. And I know people are like, well, I want 2 picks in the top 15 or 2 picks in the top 16 or whatever. Even if you have 2 picks in the top 13, 12 and 13, you still got to wait a shitload of time before it comes all the way back to you in the 3rd and the 4th. And there's a lot of good value that goes in the 3rd and 4th in those. Well, so I've got a QB Superflex tonight. Why 4 wide receivers? 2 RBs, 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. I pick 8th out of 12th. I'm assuming quarterbacks will go fast. I mean, shit, wide receivers should go faster. Everybody has to start 4 wide receivers. You have to start 4 wide receivers. Not you can start 4 wide receivers. You have to start 4 wide receivers. Wide receivers are going to go crazy high in that league. And Bake says make a deal for Jermaine in the 21. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like him though. I really like him. And Brandon said mocks I've done. I may like my teams at a 7 spot better, but don't know. I mean, if you're only picking off of ADP, I mean, yeah, whatever spot I guess you like picking out of better, but like pick the best player possible, not off of ADP. And Johnny said I laughed at 69.
69, dudes.
And so yeah, I got him for 5, but he's 22. Even went over the roster limit. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And Crispy said, how much is the Vampire League? There's one for 33 and then one for 55. 55! So got last year, I think I had 3 that were 55. And I figured this year, let's get more people just into the league, and we'll lower it from 55 to 33. And one of the $33 leagues filled like hella quick. I mean, a couple people still have to pay, but filled hella quick. And then the other one, I think there's like 5 or 4 spots like left in it in the $33 one. Well, so I don't know about wide receivers. I think they're going to be quite plentiful in the later rounds. No, I mean, you may think that, but when everybody has to start 4, that means 48 wide receivers have to start. People are going to prioritize it way more. Guarantee. And you can come back and say Huss was right, because it's way different when you have to start 2 wide receivers. Like even in my leagues, I have it where you start 2 wide receivers, but then there's 3 flex spots. You're not forced to start any position in those flex spots. It gives you the flexibility to do what you want. I bet you there's a couple teams that go 4 wide receivers right off the rip. Bet you. Because there's people that go 4 wide receivers right off the rip now. And that's like when you don't have to start, because that would give you a crazy advantage, right? In some people's eyes. Yeah, mocks don't go the same as real drafts. That's for sure. When there's money on the line, people aren't going to get too creative with the type of strategies that they take. That's for sure. That's for sure. Said an underdog, you start 3 wide receivers and they go off the board so early. Yeah. I mean, shit, in our best ball, I mean, you could start 5 like total. Or no, I guess you 5. No, I guess you could start 6 total if you started 1 in place of the quarterback. And like, that's only 2 that you're like required to start. So like sometimes you'll see them like go crazy, but no. I mean, you'll see. I feel like there's been some that are like super wide receiver crazy. And it's like people really want to lock down 3-4 in a row. I mean, I've seen that. And then I've seen the ones where like people are going QB crazy and it makes like some of the wide receivers just drop like a little bit and a little bit. And that could happen in your league. I'm not saying QBs won't be drafted a lot, but that'll be a league where it's probably only like the 3 running backs, you know, drafted in the first round. And then it's all wide receivers and QBs, you know, after that for those other 9 picks, like somehow. Then it's going to be a small crop of running backs in the second round. And a whole bunch of QBs and wide receivers. He said, but I mean, if one of the top 3 running backs is there at 8, would I be stupid not to take them? Well, yeah, I want one of those guys for sure. Yeah. I'm not saying don't draft a running back. Like I'm a huge advocate of getting one of those 3 running backs in the first round and then coming back with a wide receiver in the second round, potentially a wide receiver even in the third round. And then you kind of go from there based on value. Like I said, unless you can get Derrick Henry like in the third, like that's pretty nice. I like it. It's good value. As Superflex, you might be able to. Single QB, you got to get Henry in the second round. I have my work league drafted on Sunday. The rest are all next weekend. Labor Day should be changed to fantasy football draft day, right? Labor Day for the longest time. That was the day that we did our live in-person draft. And man, like in our 20s, shit, it was nothing. It was nothing in our 20s. Very, very easy to like do that. Not the same as you get into your 30s. Not the same. Wilson, if I go RB, wide receiver, and super flex, my QBs are going to be horrific. Well, you got to be water. It all depends on what everybody's doing, because not necessarily. If people are going super crazy wide receiver in the 4th and the 5th round, you still might be able to come up on some gems, or even the 4th and the 6th round, you might be able to come up on some gems and mix in a running back, you know, in between there. So it's all about being water, dude. Like I could give a shitload of strategies, but it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, what if 6 running backs go in the first round? That throws everything off then, right? You know, and if you don't have one of those like top 3 running backs, you like look like shit. You know, but so every draft is going to be different. Every group of people is going to be different. Every app that you draft on, people are going to draft differently. So like there's so many variables. That's why we love fantasy football, baby. That's why we love it. Because there's so many variables. So like, yeah, what I'm telling you right now may not align with the exact way that your draft is going. But I bet you if I was in that draft, or if you were telling me things like live during the draft, my strategy would probably change, because it like you got to be water. That's the best advice that I can give anybody is you got to be water. You got to get the best player available, and you got to see what's going to happen like in the future. You got to know. No QBs have been drafted over here. Like, fuck, if I don't get a QB like right now, who knows how many are going to be gone before my next pick? And literally thinking like that for every single position. So you have to be like looking at everything the entire time. Like the way that people are drafting in the first 2 rounds is definitely going to like, you know, alter somewhere over the next couple rounds. You know, people are going running back heavy. It's only so long before they switch to the other positions, you know, so it's paying attention to how all 12 people, all 11 people besides you are drafted. So much goes into this, man. So much goes into it. And just try to think how other people think. Try to think how other people think. And there we go. And there you have it. And just draft better players than everybody else. That's it. Draft better players than everybody else. That's like the best advice I can give anybody in these fantasy football drafts. You draft better players than everybody else, you're going to leave your draft feeling really good. Just remember that. Just remember that. I like playing QB chicken in a 32-team league and drafted one in the 16th round. If you're already committing to like one of those guys, like you already know, I'm going to be committing to one of these guys. I'm going to be committing to like when someone comes up on the waiver wire, because someone always comes up on the waiver wire for QBs, and everybody's got the same amount of money to bid when we start. So lot of different strategy coming in. I was really excited getting Aaron Rodgers with number 3. I mean, with my 3rd round pick, I was really excited on the 3rd round turn. I feel like my team's really good. You know, we're lacking in a couple spots, but man, if Cam Akers or Damian Pierce turn into a thing, I got them so late. Just if one of them turns into a thing, because I got them both. And Will said, so is there a way that I could put the sleeper draft board on my TV? Of course there is. So while being able to draft on my phone, of course there. Oh, I don't have a laptop, unfortunately. I mean, you need a computer to be able to do that. You need a computer to be able to do that, and an HDMI cord. Unless you have but you say you don't have a laptop. If like you don't have a computer, do you have a computer? Not a laptop, but do you have a desktop computer? Because if you do, then yes, you just need the fucking HDMI cord. Makes I'm liking my team so far. I hope Cornelius does what he did in college with Harbaugh. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't even think he's been really playing too much. 10 teams, Crispy in the Vampire. 10 teams. It's a 10-teamer. The only 2 styles of leagues that I do that are the 2 styles of leagues that I do that are not 12-teamers are the Vampire leagues and the 3 QB leagues. Those are the only ones. Because with 12 teams, like a couple teams would be at a grave disadvantage. Jay said you could download the TV Cast app on your TV for $6.99 per month and then cast it from your phone. Yeah, but it's not going to be the whole screen though. Like that's the thing. Like it's not going to be the whole screen. And Nick Von B said even with Rodgers' injury last year, I mean, it was a fluke injury. So like, can he get hurt? Like, yeah, but anybody can get hurt. Every QB has the same. Everyone is the same exact chance of getting hurt. And Crispy said, oh, I definitely want to be the vampire. I know you do. Everybody wants to be the vampire. So what I'd suggest joining both of the vampire leagues and then paying the $5. So you have to pay $5 extra for the chance to be the vampire. But the way that I've done it this year, because previous years, everybody who joined had the same chance to be the vampire. Everybody has a 10% chance of being the vampire, and that's it. And this year I'm making it $5 extra. So you pay $5 extra to be able to be the vampire. And then it's a vampire race with those people who want to be the vampire. And I think in the new vampire ones, I don't even think anybody's even paid to be the vampire yet. So as of right now, those might actually be the best ones. In the other ones, let's see so far how many people in the other 2 have wanted to be the vampire. There's 4 people. So I mean, there's 3 people who haven't paid yet, but there's only 4 people who paid to be be in the vampire race. And then in the $33 one, only 1 person's paid to be in the vampire race, and that's it. And then in the other 2, nobody's paid to be in the vampire race yet. He said, yes, it is full screen on mine with YouTube. Well, Sleeper just doesn't work the same. You're not going to be able to get like when you're in a I'm gonna try. Like, I'm gonna see turning it sideways and sticking it straight up. Your candy ass. See, like sleeper, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. So it would be still, it wouldn't be full screen. With that, it's gonna be still the same dimensions as your phone. Roger's like, big man just need to retire. Hey man, take it easy. Take it easy. He said, yeah, I know what you mean. Hook it up to HDMI port, but I don't have a laptop or a computer. I was hoping maybe I could cast. I mean, you could cast, but it's not gonna be the full draft board. So yes, you can cast, but it's not the full draft board. All right. Crispy's in the 33. Let me send you the link. Let me send you the link, Crispy. And I got to go get some water. I already feel my voice getting a little raspy. So let's play a song here real quick. He literally had me laughing out loud when he said, "I'm sticking straight up your candy ass." I did. I turned that sumbitch sideways on you guys right now. That shit's fucking hilarious. Man, yeah, we just got to mix in more wrestling. References and shit. Let's see. I got to get more on the soundboard. I know I got some rock stuff. Let's see. See, I don't even think I have turned that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. We got this one.
Let's lay the smackdown on your candy ass. Know your role and shut your mouth. Who is this Rudy Poo? And in front of the millions of Rocks fans, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, Jabroni, you are 3 seconds away, and the Rock means 3 seconds away from the Rock to lay a smackdown on your candy ass. But there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck. Finally, the Rock has come back to Las Vegas.
And this one was always the best one.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
That's fucking always has been and will always be the best burn. It doesn't matter what your name is. You got the fucking, I don't even know. You got the testicular fortitude to come on the Rock show on Raw, Monday Night Raw, and you don't even introduce yourself to the Rock. What is your name?
It doesn't matter what your name is.
And like they would get so pissed. It was like the worst thing that you could do ever. Do you remember how Jericho looked when he when he gave him one of those?
It doesn't matter what your name is.
He was so pissed. It's like the look on his face. He had to like take his fucking vest off or whatever the fuck he had on. Hilarious. We got to go get more Rock drops, like more Rock insult, drops. If anybody has some time, go find some classic Rock promos with like, some quick sound bites that we can put on here. Send me the YouTube video. And yeah, I know there's a bunch out there, but man, I mean, there's so much good stuff that it's like, it's got to remember where this fucking shit is actually from. But yeah, it's fucking hilarious, Bakes. Glad I got you laughing out loud with that one. That one just rolled off the tongue. We're just ready for it. All right. Oh, woo! We've been rocking for an hour and a half. Woo! Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Whew. All right. Oh. Fuck. That was a big one. You guys hear that? You guys hear that? That was a good one. All right. Let's go. What else do we got to talk about? Did we get any other news? while we were on the show here. I mean, trade between the Seahawks and the Bears. I don't even know who the hell this is, but the Seahawks are sending Darrell Taylor for a 2025 6th round pick. No idea. No idea what's going on over here. Nothing else worth mentioning. Oh, I did say earlier though, if people weren't on the show, that Jacoby Brissett, they're gonna start him, and all 4 quarterbacks for the Patriots are going to play, they say. All right. Well, you know what? It might be time to get ready to get up out of here. So I fallen back asleep twice since tuning in. So my morning bowl kicked my ass. There we go. And let's see. We always got to shout out the producers of the show. I don't want to leave the show before we shout out the producers, all our 420 Crew Patreon members, the Ultimate Priority members, our All Access members, our Elite members, our Superstar members, and I think the Ultimate members are going to be the 420 Ride or Dies. I think that's what that is going to be, the 420 Ride or Dies. And appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. We're going to do a dab before we get out of here. He's an okay DL guy. Put some respect on Taylor's name. Who? Who? I don't know who that is. I know like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players, and I don't know who that is. Said I had him in Dynasty. Do you still have him? Because you said had, past tense. So do you still have him? Or did you cut his ass like a bad habit? You couldn't trade him for a 6th rounder? You couldn't trade him for a 6th rounder like the Seahawks did? Cut their losses? That shit's funny. I had no idea who the fuck he is. I've never had to dive that far. I dived pretty far. Bakes was in some murky waters over there. Johnny's just in there long line of pass rushers they take with fairly high draft picks that don't pan out. Said in the number 7, I couldn't sell him for a bag of chips. Yeah, like I said, I don't even know who the fuck he is. So I imagine not too many others did either. Oh man, yeah. So I'm assuming he dropped his ass like a bad habit. You know, it happens. Seahawks, they cut their losses. Seahawks, it's a 32-team league that they play in. So, you know, they got a lot more people in their league, like guys like him. You know, a little bit more valuable when you're talking about 32 teams. But yeah, that's why they couldn't sell him for a bag of chips. I believe it because I don't know who the fuck he is. That shit's funny. It's been like that a couple times for players. I go pretty far down in my research, but you know, there's a certain level where I'm like, fuck, do I really want to like do research on guys like this? Guess that was my threshold. Darrell Taylor. Wafers. Wafers, diamonds. Right there. Fuck. Some wafers, diamonds. Fuck. Whew. All right. It's about that time. Salute, peeps. We're going to figure out some stuff going down today, but just be on the lookout in Patreon. I'm going to be posting about some leagues. Tomorrow's best ball draft, you want to get into it. It's going to be an iconic one, number 125. It's a big one. This is a big boy. It took pause, but it took us a long time to get here, and 125 divisions, that is so much. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. So I appreciate you guys who are in a bunch of these leagues. Salute to you guys. Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Rumble. We appreciate you guys. Go to fantasyfootballhustler.com so you can go check me out everywhere that we are. You want to get into Patreon, that's 420crew.com. You can sign up for free. You can sign up as a paid member. I'm a fantasy football consultant. You need consulting on fantasy football. You want to go sign up, 420crew.com. Get in the superstar tier or higher. The higher you go, just the more level of access you get, the more drafts that I'll be there live with you for, all types of stuff. So, yeah, make sure you go get on it. We'll see you guys there. Peace out.
Defense on me. I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans. Here comes the, 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 y'all